The yard was quiet, the sun was bright, and everything was just perfect. Well, almost perfect. For a tiny puppy full of big ideas, a quiet yard was like a blank canvas waiting for a splash of color, a dash of fun, and a whole lot of giggles. The puppy, whose name was Pip, trotted out onto the grass, his tail wagging so fast it was just a blur. He spotted his favorite human, a young girl named Lily, sitting on the porch steps, looking a little bored. Pip's ears perked up. A bored human! Not on his watch! A thought bubble popped up above his head, showing a light bulb switching on. Time for a little puppy magic! Pip scampered over to the toy basket, his nose twitching as he sorted through the treasures inside. A squeaky rubber chicken? Nah, too classic. A floppy frisbee. Maybe later. Then his eyes landed on it. A bright red ball. It was just an ordinary ball, but Pip saw its potential. He nudged it with his nose, and another thought bubble appeared. This one showed the red ball with a little smiley face and a speech bubble that said, "Hello?" Pip grinned. Oh, this was going to be good. He rolled the ball over to Lily and dropped it near her feet with a hopeful little bark. Lily smiled and picked it up. Want to play fetch, Pip? She asked, giving the ball a little toss. Pip chased it, but instead of bringing it right back, he nudged it behind a big flower pot. Lily couldn't see him, but she could hear a little rustling. Pip? Where'd you go? She called out. Suddenly, a small, squeaky voice came from behind the flower pot. Over here, it said. Lily sat up straight, her eyes wide. Who said that? She asked, looking around the yard. Pip, hiding behind the pot, tried his best to hold in a giggle. He used his paw to nudge the ball out from its hiding spot. The ball rolled slowly toward Lily. It's me! The ball! The squeaky voice said again, seeming to come from the direction of the rolling ball. Lily's jaw dropped. She looked at the ball, then around the yard, then back at the ball. A talking ball. No way, she exclaimed, a huge smile spreading across her face. Pip was having the time of his life. A thought bubble appeared above his head, showing him wearing a magician's top hat and cape. He was the master of illusion. He stayed hidden behind the flower pot, ready for the next part of his prank. Lily carefully picked up the ball. Can you really talk? She whispered to it. Pip took a deep breath and, in his highest, squeakiest voice, replied, Of course I can, and I have a joke for you. Lily leaned in closer, holding the ball to her ear. What do you call a dog magician? The ball squeaked. Lily giggled. I don't know. What? Pip delivered the punchline with perfect timing, abracadabrador. Lily burst out laughing, hugging the ball. That's a good one, she said. This was amazing! A real, live, talking, joke-telling ball. She had to show her friend, Tom, who lived next door. She ran to the fence that separated their yards. Tom! Tom! You won't believe this! She shouted. Tom came running over. What is it? He asked, peering through the fence. My ball can talk, Lily announced proudly. Tom raised an eyebrow. No, it can't, he said skeptically. Balls don't talk. This one does, Lily insisted. Watch. She held the ball up. Say something. Ball, she commanded. Back behind the flower pot, Pip was starting to feel a little bit of pressure. He hadn't planned for an audience. A new thought bubble appeared, this time showing him with a single drop of sweat on his brow. He had to keep the magic alive. He cleared his throat. Hello, Tom. The ball squeaked. Tom's eyes went wide. He pressed his face against the fence. Whoa! It really does talk, he gasped. Ask it something, Lily prompted. Tom thought for a moment. Okay, Mr. Ball, he said seriously. What's the best thing about being a ball? Pip had to think fast. What asterisk was asterisk the best thing about being a ball? He looked at his own paws, then at the ball. A thought bubble showed him bouncing high in the air. That was it, getting to play fetch all day. The ball's voice squeaked out. Especially with a super fasty puppy. Tom and Lily laughed. That makes sense, Lily said. They spent the next few minutes asking the ball all sorts of questions. What's your favorite color? Red. Of course. Do you get dizzy when you spin? Only when I spin too fast. Pip was a master puppeteer, or rather, a master ball voice thrower. His thought bubbles showed him conducting an orchestra with Lily and Tom as his captive audience. But all this squeaky voice talking was starting to make his throat a little scratchy. And besides, the best part of a joke is the big reveal. He decided it was time to wrap up his performance. Lily held the ball close. "This is the best toy ever," she sighed happily. Tom nodded in agreement. "Can you tell us one more joke?" he asked. Pip knew just the one. He took a deep breath. "Why did the puppy cross the road twice?" the ball's voice asked. Lily and Tom looked at each other, stumped. "I don't know why," they said in unison. "He was trying to fetch a boomerang," the ball squeaked. As Lily and Tom started laughing, Pip saw his chance. While they were distracted, he quietly crawled out from behind the flower pot. He crept up behind Lily, his tail wagging silently. Lily was still chuckling, looking at the ball. "You're so funny," she said to it. Just then, Pip let out a happy little arf. Right behind her, Lily jumped and spun around. "Pip, there you are!" "You missaid it! My ball can talk," she said, scooping him up for a hug. Tom was still looking at the ball. "Wait a minute," he said, his eyes narrowing. The voice stopped right when Pip showed up. Lily looked from Pip to the ball, and then back to Pip. A slow smile spread across her face as the pieces clicked into place. "Pip," she said, her voice full of amusement. "Was that you?" Pip just looked at her, his head tilted, his tongue lolling out in a big, happy puppy smile. A final thought bubble appeared above his head. It showed him with a mischievous wink and a speech bubble that simply had a question mark in it. Lily and Tom burst into laughter, realizing they'd been pranked by the tiny puppy. "You little trickster," Lily said, tickling Pip's belly. Pip squirmed and licked her chin, his tail thumping against her arm. He hadn't meant to fool them for long. He just wanted to see them smile. And he had succeeded. The yard was no longer quiet and boring. It was filled with the sound of laughter, the best sound in the whole wide world. Pip looked at the red ball, then at his happy humans. Mission accomplished! The rest of the afternoon was spent playing a very noisy game of fetch, and every time the ball squeaked, Lily and Tom would look at Pip and laugh, remembering the day their ordinary ball became a comedy star, all thanks to a tiny puppy with a big imagination. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more puppy adventures.